Hi.
Hi.
I saw a movie called Iron Man 3. Did you see that movie?
I saw that as well with you.
So, what did you think of Iron Man 3?
I liked it.
Thank you for watching our video.
Bye. Subscribe to us.
So we were told we should say more in reviews that we make, otherwise we're just wasting people's time.
Yeah.
So Iron Man 3. It's not as good as Iron Man 1 or the Avengers, but I think it's better than Iron Man 2. What do you think?
I definitely agree. I think that Iron Man 2 was very boring and not memorable, whereas this one I think had a lot going for it. The action was really cool. There are a bunch of very memorable scenes involving the armor flying around by itself,
So
which isn't a spoiler, really.
this is like a... So I'm just gonna possibly say spoilers.
Yeah, so we'll just put spoilers at the top.
So this is like a normal superhero movie trope, like a sequel of superhero movies. Usually have superhero loses his powers. It happens in Superman 2 or 3. I don't know which one. And it happens in Spider-Man 2 or 3. And again, I don't remember which one. It happens in a lot of superhero movie sequels, and it's happened in every comic book series. At one point, the superhero loses his powers and has to rely on his wits and not on like their ability to fly or whatever. In a lot of the plot is like Iron Man does not have his power armor and he has to figure things out, not being actually Iron Man, just being Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And while that's like I said, not any kind of novel idea per se, it's interesting because it's not been done much as far as Iron Man, as far as movies. And it's cool, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
I can see how someone might say, like, I wish he was Iron Man more, because Iron Man is cool, and, like, he doesn't spend too much of the movie being Iron Man, but, you know, there's the other two movies where he's Iron Man a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, even in those, he's not Iron Man always, but it's good to show his resourcefulness. I thought one of the coolest scenes was when he doesn't have his suit operational, and he has to like go to Home Depot and build just like improvised weaponry,
Yeah.
and sneak into like the Mandarin's hideout, and he has to like take out the dudes like a James Bond type thing.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
It
and
shows his smartness.
Yeah, it shows he's smart and resourceful, and he's like an inventor and all
Yeah,
that.
because you have to show that, because I feel like a lot of the time with Tony Stark, he's so cool and so show-offy that you forget that he is a genius. Like, he can do all this magical, mechanical stuff.
Oh, they also played up his weaknesses a little bit, as far as he has something like PTSD or general anxiety disorder or whatever. That was really cool to show it, because it is realistic that after going through like the crazy stuff he goes through, that you'd be a little freaked out every now and again.
Yeah, it's nice that he has some type of weakness, because at first he seemed to have it all, and
Yeah.
like, because Bruce Banner kind of has a weakness, so like a
Well, he does have the weakness of being overconfident and like drinking is a big weakness. But in this one,
it's a psychological thing.
he's kind of getting better at that as the movies go through.
Mm-hmm.
He like is not drunk anymore.
Yeah.
And like Pepper Potts helps him, and he's like not as overconfident. He's still overconfident, but not as overconfident.
He's not an asshole.
So they kind of have, like, here's the thing about like a character, like they have to have some arc where they improve as people, but if you keep doing that through sequels, eventually they're going to become perfect, if you know what I mean. So you kind of have to have new problems come in, and that was kind of smart. And the other thing is, there's a child sidekick, which sounds awful, but it's not.
No, I liked him a lot.
He was pretty good.
He was smart. He wasn't annoying.
It was actually kind of cute.
Yeah.
You know, and it really could have been bad.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was okay.
He took a little bit away from War Machine, because Rhodey's not in it as much as he could have.
Well, he's in it, but I still feel like he should, I don't know, he should do more.
Yeah, they should give more to War Machine.
Like, I'm still waiting. I feel like I'm always waiting in the movie for the point where, like, Iron Man's totally screwed, and then War
And he
Machine
leaves,
saves
yeah.
him. And it's more like, oh, Iron Man's not doing like that well, and War Machine kind of helps him. You know what I mean? It's not like he saves him.
I mean, War Machine helps the president.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff, but I just wish he did a little bit more, like he was really essential.
And I feel like a lot of the movie, too, he didn't have very many lines, because I felt like he was on screen a lot, but everybody else was talking, and he was just kind of like, yeah.
Yeah. The main thing I heard about Iron Man 3 is that Pepper Potts wears the power suit.
She does in the trailer.
And, if you read the comics, you know that she does do this a lot and becomes Rescue.
Yeah.
And she's like a legit superhero. And I thought that at one point she would wear it for like a couple minutes and beat someone up. And she doesn't.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
And I was a little bit like, huh, that was it? Okay. I thought it was a bigger thing.
Yeah, she wears the suit, but only until he gets it back, right? Doesn't he pull it away from her?
Yeah, so basically she wears the suit, like, not even as a conscious thing. She doesn't, like, decide
to... It accidentally comes on her, yeah.
Right, accidentally, or Tony Stark tells it to or something, and it goes on to her, and she has it for maybe 20 seconds.
She saves the other girl.
Yeah, she, like, grabs her and, like, kind of stumbles away as she semi-understands how to move. She stumbles away, and then Tony Stark gets the armor back, and that was it.
Yeah.
But she does do something cool later on.
She does,
but it's not with the armor. So that's... It's like, you kind of gave it to us, but not really.
There should have been more with her helping him, saving him in the armor. That would have been cool. But instead it's like, oh, she's a girl in the armor, so she has to save a girl. She can't save the man in the armor. But,
right. I mean, it wouldn't have been realistic at that point. I get it.
Yeah.
That she wouldn't have been like, okay, I know how to pilot this, you know, or whatever. But I just, somehow, I thought at some point she would be required to wear it and, like, fight.
Yeah.
She does fight, but not in the... I don't get it. The really cool scene that I really liked was... It's shown in the trailer, parts of it, but not the whole thing. And basically it's terrorists take over a plane. They throw passengers out of the plane, 12 passengers. Iron Man wants to save the passengers, but he can't carry more than 4 at a time, so he has to figure out how to save them. And that's pretty much all I want to say about that. Yeah, but basically it's skydiving stunt. It's a great skydiving stunt.
And it has a very satisfying conclusion to the scene, too.
Yeah, and you know what? It's all like really logical. This is something that I really like about a lot of the Avengers movies, is that you're never lost in the big action scenes. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know you know what the problem is.
It makes sense.
You know what their plan is, and you know how far along they are in the plan at any given moment. Mm-hmm. And you're never like, what are they doing? Yeah. What are they doing this? It's not like... I
feel like it's very clearly a step-by-step thing. Like, you can see that action as they're, like...
Yeah, and there's, like, a very, like, okay, there's a guy over there, and there's a guy... Mentally, you can map it out. Yeah. There's just some movies where everything's, like...
Yeah.
And, like, shake and move again, and you're like, what is going on?
That looks like one of the problems with Transformers.
Yeah, that is the problem with Transformers. Well, not the problem of Transformers. The problem of Transformers... let's not get into that. Yeah, so that's a really cool scene. Because it's skydiving, it's a skydiving stunt, and the people have to play helpless civilians while skydiving, so they're helpless civilians pulling a stunt. They're stuntmen pulling a stunt, but they're playing helpless civilians trying to figure out what to do.
But it's nice because they're all heroes in that.
Yeah, they do well, and you're like, yeah, we did well.
It's like a team effort. It's really...
And someone is skydiving in an Iron Man suit, right? And then there are, of course, people skydiving with cameras capturing all this, and it's just really cool. The whole movie is pretty funny. There are there are a bunch of jokes that are funny, and you know, like, Robert Downey Jr. is really good as Iron Man. I think everyone knows that. And he's really funny.
And Jon Favreau is really good in it, too. He's the director, usually, not in this one, but his character is big.
He plays... He doesn't have a lot of scenes, but he's important. Yeah. And you're like, oh my god, Happy! Like, by the end of the movie, you kind of love Happy.
Yeah, and he gets really funny lines. And...
Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin. Okay, so...
Excellent.
So, in the comics, the Mandarin is like Fu Manchu. He's like a guy with a beard. And he's like a Chinese guy with a beard, and he has power rings where he shoots lasers at it. And Jon Favreau said, I don't want to... Oh, and he's like one of the main villains in Iron Man. He's like the villain almost. Like when I think of Iron Man villains, that's the first one I would think of. Jon Favreau said in the first two movies when he directed them, he said, "I'm never going to do the Mandarin." And of course, he's not directing this one, and the Mandarin is in there. But he said it's like he comes off a little bit racist and a little bit outdated.
A little bit
in the comics, and they've kind of tried to update it, but you can't exactly update it. Like, well, it's difficult to update it. So they did update him. First off, Ben Kingsley plays him, and Ben Kingsley is clearly not Chinese. I think they were doing that to, like, disassociate the fact that he's bad with the fact that he's Chinese by making him not Chinese. Although it's not really explained why he's called the Mandarin. Well, it might have been, but it must have been, like, some guy quickly saying it, and you're like, okay, whatever. So, this is spoilers completely, 100%. So, if you haven't seen this, don't watch this part. We'll skip a little bit. What it is that the Mandarin is... Ben Kingsley is, like, an actor. Okay, I didn't explain that again. What it is that the Mandarin is a character in the movie. He is a made-up fictional character that an actor named Trevor plays. So Ben Kingsley plays a guy named Trevor who plays the Mandarin, and he's not exactly evil. He's just like some coked out.
He's hired by somebody else.
Yeah, he just needs money for drugs, and they give him like lots of money and like attention and fame, which is what he wants. So he goes along with it, and he's not actually a bad guy. He does not have laser powers or anything like that.
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy.
He'll do things for money, though.
Yeah, he'll do like terrible things for money. Yeah. But he's not like an evil terrorist.
No, he's not an evil genius, definitely.
Yeah, and
he's not very smart.
He's not very smart. He openly like recognizes that the guy he plays is like kind of a ludicrous thing, and he doesn't believe in it.
The voice he uses when he's the Mandarin is really cool.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, Ben Kingsley. It's funny because he plays the threatening Mandarin well, and he also plays the really kind of funny actor guy well too. And I think it's a good twist.
Yes, it is.
And I feel like I don't know because I don't read the Iron Man comics a lot, and I'm not super into that. Like I know and I understand it, but I wonder what it's like for someone who really cares about all the Iron Man comics to see the Mandarin be this guy. For me, I know who the Mandarin is, but I don't specifically like have much attachment to the character. And I think it's a good twist. I think it's interesting, and it's risky, but I think it works. It's like a good twist that you don't see coming.
You don't go into the movie realizing, because when you see the trailer, you think, oh, the bad guy is this crazy Mandarin guy. What's he doing? I just realized you're wearing an Iron Maiden shirt while we're talking about Iron Man.
Oh, since we're talking about Iron Maiden, there are no heavy metal songs in this movie, and I don't get it.
There's all Christmas songs.
Yes, it's set during Christmas. The whole thing is set during
Christmas. And it came out in May.
I don't get it. Were they trying to release it 4 months ago or whatever? 5 months ago?
I don't think so.
Like, I don't get that. The whole thing is really Christmassy. There's Jingle Bell songs.
And presents and trees.
And there's, like, jokes like, you know, the terrorist grabs the little kid and says, like, what do you want for Christmas, boy? Or whatever. Like, it's a total Christmas movie, but not during Christmas.
You have to go into it not thinking, oh, but it's summer-ish outside. You have to just realize, okay, it's Christmas now.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of? I remember when it was July 4th, I was like, ooh, Captain America's coming out. I bet it'll be around for July 4th.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's go to the movies. And then I checked the times, I was like, wow, Captain America comes out next week. Why did they do this?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get that. But, yeah, it's Christmas.
They probably tried, but...
It's Christmas. There's no heavy metal songs, which is weird, because there was a Blue,
dabba-dee-dabba-da.
Yeah, the techno song. Yeah. And there were Jingle Bells. I don't
Mambo
get
number
it.
5.
Don't get it.
No.
I think they needed at least one...
Black Sabbath. Like one Black Sabbath song.
Right, or they could have moved on. Like, in this one, I feel like they should have moved on to, like... This is kind of stupid, but they should have moved on to, like... Okay, they did the mid-70s metals in the, like, early 80s, and she should have been listening to the 90s metal music to show the progression of the... I don't know. But that's just a personal thing that No one cares about.
Yeah, well, if you care about Tony Stark and you liked that character, it's kind of weird that suddenly there's no music that is his favorite.
How do you rank Iron Man 3 in all of the Avengers movies? So like, what's your favorite Avengers movie?
The Avengers.
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
The
Avengers. Then I would say Iron Man 1.
Really? Captain America. I really liked Captain America.
I would say Captain America after that, which I really liked.
I would say Iron Man.
Okay. Then I would say Thor.
Yeah.
And then Iron Man 3?
Yeah.
Iron Man 2?
Yeah.
And the not-so-incredible Hulk.
Which one? There were... You mean the one with...
The one that's called the Incredible
Edward
Hulk.
Norton.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. He was a weird choice. But yeah, so
I
it's kind of somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, and if you notice, I actually kind of have it third last. But I like all of the movies, and I like this movie. So I think it's worth going to see.
Yes, it's definitely worth going to see, especially if you really like the Marvel movies, because I have a feeling that this will be important in the next Avengers movie, at least a little bit, like the PTSD.
Yeah. Actually, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think that
besides that, though, it's not really... It's like, I feel like this one is like a transitioning out of the Avengers movie, kind of.
Yeah.
It's not setting up the Avengers too much.
No.
Was it? No, okay. There was no... And this is like spoilery to the Avengers 2, but you probably know this. That Thanos is going to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
There's nothing about Thanos or aliens, I don't think.
And the thing at the end of the movie doesn't really have like a what's going to happen next, like they usually do, where somebody from S.H.I.E.L.D. shows up and is like, hey, I need you to do this thing.
Yeah.
It didn't have anything like that, but it is funny, so stay till the end.
Yes.
And I won't say anything about it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think we have enough.
Okay, are we done?
Oh! Okay.
Okay.
So the beginning of the movie, Guy Pearce comes up, like, and he's made up to look really ugly, and his teeth are messed up.
I still recognized him. I felt really bad about that.
And he goes up to Tony Stark, and he's like, "I'm your biggest fan, Tony Stark. Here's my, like, card. We should get together and work together." And he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, buddy."
Mm-hmm.
From that moment, which is like 2 minutes into the movie, I was like, this is going to be the plot of The Incredibles. And it is. It's exactly like The Incredibles, where, what's his guy? I don't know his name. The bad guy?
Oh, the flaming guy?
I know his evil name, or his villain name is Syndrome, but he's known as Kevin or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
He goes to Mr. Incredible, and he's like, "I want to be your sidekick, Mr. Incredible." And he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And then he's like, "God damn it, I'm going to kill that guy later," because he got, like, rejected.
Yeah.
It's the exact
Ignored.
same thing.
Yeah.
And it's pretty weird, I have to say. It's also telegraphed really obviously. That's not, like, a great twist. The Mandarin thing is a twist. Great twist. But this whole plot is not that great of a twist.
Especially if you've seen The Incredibles.
It's the same as The Incredibles. Yeah. And, except for the fact that Syndrome didn't want to have sex with Mrs. Incredible, whereas Guy Pearce, who plays whoever, what's his name? Jillian or something? Killian wants to have sex with Pepper Potts. So that is the one difference. Yeah, like Killian's Irish beer.
It's got kill in it. That's...
Oh, no.
But I mean, there is a twist with him in a way because he's not just some guy.
Oh yeah. There is a twist that relates to the Mandarin twist.
Yes, they go together.
But him being bad is so obvious.
You can tell,
especially if you've seen The Incredibles.
You know he's going to come back and he's going to be pissed. Well, Tony even says that he got.
Yeah, he sets it up. He says like, "I created my own demons."
Yeah,
blah, blah.
And they like do a montage of all the people that he just pissed off. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. It was good. Are we done?
Pause.
I can't pause, but I can stop.
That's what I mean.